Beat the weather, had a good day in here, so happy with that. Looking forward to tomorrow. We'll go in the morning at 9:30 and then finish them up and get them out of here. But it's been a good practice, good productive day on third down today. Liked it. Questions?
Coach Pruitt is official now.
Coach Pruitt's official. He'll be on. It's huge. I mean, we got our defense coordinator, got who we wanted. Very good coach, very knowledgeable, great recruiter. Been in business a long time. Father's been a high school coach, coached a long time. Very successful high school programs, and very successful. Been with Coach Saban for 6 years. Interacting and doing all the things he's been doing, and very knowledgeable. Had great rapport with our staff and players, and really like what he does and likes what he'll be able to add to. We'll keep a lot of the same things we do on defense, and we'll add a few things that they bring. So it'll be a great mix, I think, for allowing us to do some different things and add to our package.
What was the one thing that jumped out about him that was like he's
his knowledge of the game, his experience, and how he's handled some things. And when he got on the board, his answers to playing spread things has had great success versus the open teams that have been very successful out there, from Malzahn and all those guys in that league. And the way they've played and done those things, and had a great rapport, and is no doubt ready to be a coordinator, and I think will be a very good one.
How long had he been on your radar?
Long time. I've known him a long time. I've known him back in my days at LSU. Back when he was a high school coach, and watched him coach at Hoover and different places, and watched how successful he made those guys and things he's done. I've known him for a long time.
Did you meet him on the recruiting trail?
Or? Out recruiting, and I know everybody in the state of Alabama, so it helps.
You said you want to keep most of the same things. Obviously, Alabama
we'll keep parts of our defense, and we'll add to what we got, and then Alabama brings a lot more different things to the table, and different packages, from nickel packages, blitz packages, and different things that I think will really feature some of the exploits of some of the players of our team, like a lot of the safeties and linebackers and different packages we'll be able to exploit and use.
But you're not looking at switching from a 3-4 to a 4?
No, we're going to be a 4-3. We were both. If you looked at us this year, we were both. We were a 4-3 that got in a 3-4 a bunch.
Right.
And I think that's very important to be able to do. We'll be a 4-3 team, but we'll be able to be more, like we stood Bjorn and Brandon, those guys up and did different things, and be able to move people around nickel and dime packages, and with the players we got, I think it'll really fit what we do.
You talked about getting on the board. You guys, like, during the interview process, do you actually like talk schemes and like?
Oh yeah, the whole time for hours. Oh yeah, answer them. How you gonna handle this? How you gonna handle that? How would you block that? How would you deal with that? I mean, it's a very intense, very hard thing to do. When you on interview processes for jobs, it ain't I like you, and it goes on that.
Like in our,
and you're down. No, this is how you gonna handle a goal line? What are you gonna do in short yards? What are you doing versus spread? What are you doing when guys are doing all the motions and no huddles here? How'd you handle this? How'd you handle the posse play? I mean, it's an extensive breakdown of knowledge of what to do and how to do it and different ways to do it. And if you say you got you're in 3-4, how you gonna do it? If you're in 4-3, how you gonna do it? I mean, it's a very extensive breakdown of how you do things.
Jimbo, how much did you talk to Nick about Jeremy and how much that he's ready?
Not a lot. Nick's mad. No, I mean, they offered him a bunch of money to stay. I mean, and stay there as a position guy, and he's been good. I mean, not a lot, hardly at all, actually, hardly at all. I mean, when we go to these battles, these are enemy battles. I mean, he and I are very good friends and very close, but he doesn't. I mean, he's happy for Jeremy because it's an opportunity. But just like his staff, they're the most successful staff in the world, and they've had guys leave there every year because why? People want to know what they're going to do. So I've been trying to tell, like guys with our people. People want to know how we run a program. We like things they do. So people go to staffs that have success and have people out there and that's why you're going to have constant change in coaching every year. It's always going to be that way. And there was no talks about that at all.
Was there ever a hesitation because you didn't have a whole lot of experience in terms of coordinating defenses in college?
When I went to LSU, I had 1 year. When Kirby went to Alabama, he had none. When Will got hired at LSU, he had none. I mean, all those guys, in that realm and the knowledge of what they had. People, when they answer questions, you do the interviews of how they do things and what they do. You know your people, and you got to trust your instincts about who to hire and what to hire. He's a great recruiter. He has great knowledge of what they do, and he's a very good leader. And I watched him coordinate many high school teams, and some of those big high school teams, and dealing with different things. I watched how he handled kids. I watched how he handled coaches. I've known him for a long time. This is not a hire that we just met a guy and knew he did something for a long period of time. And there was other guys I talked to and other guys that were involved in the process. A lot of good guys out there, but when I went through it, that's who we felt the most comfortable with, thought give us the best chance to be successful.
You said you had that list ahead of time. Was he at the top of that list to begin with, or was it a matter of going through the interviews? And
you go through the interviews. You still go through the interview process, even if you have a list. You have a list and you say who the head guys are, but a lot of times, just like in recruiting, they say the best player in the country doesn't always turn out to be the best player in the country as you go through things. But he was very high on our list and a guy that I definitely knew had on my radar for a while.
Will he be around for the bowl game at all, or is he staying with Alabama?
No, he'll stay with Alabama through the national championship, and I would not do that. We're not asking him to do that. He's doing great, and then now he'll be able to make some calls and identify himself with our recruits and things like that. But that's that you have chances to win national championships. I've been in those situations before myself, and that's you got to, and it's unfair to be unfair to the kids at Alabama.
Will there be a chance maybe if he's in Miami early to come and just talk to players?
I doubt if he will be. I doubt if they'll be because they'll be practicing all the way up to it.
Yeah.
They'll be practicing all the way up to it in that week. But from that standpoint,
Everybody always wonders how much Nick lets his defensive coach, especially defensive backs coaches, actually coach. But he must do a lot because they've all.
oh, they all do. They all do. I mean, it's like like everybody says here, even Coley's a coordinator, still does a lot of things. I mean, there ain't enough time to do all those things, and they all develop and they know what to do and they know how to coach and they do it. I mean, they coach it all too. I mean, because he bounces around to different places and does things.
I think you've spoken about it in the past, but what does a guy with a defensive background bring to the coordinator?
In today's game, being able to go back to front is very critical because of the spread, and be able to match your secondary fronts, secondary coverages to your fronts, and who's going to fit and how they're going to fit, and how you're going to handle certain play actions, how you're going to handle certain coverages. And I think it's much easier to go back to front than it is front to back. And I think that knowledge, to be able to tie that in, especially with the way the game is being played today, with such a spread, dynamic to it.
Can you shed any light on why it took so long to announce it officially?
All paperwork. It has nothing to do with just how they got dot I's, cross T's, and do all that. That has nothing to do with me. That's just an official. That's the way they do things.
Any more announcements before Christmas, possibly?
Yeah, I mean we got another coach in there too. And I think it's signed papers, and Sal's going to be our defensive ends coach.
He has signed it.
Mm-hmm. Time today. Yes, sir. It should be in a minute. So
he was walking by us.
Yeah. Well, they brought it out here, so that was. I mean, that'd be it. He'll be our defensive ends coach, and another great recruiter, another great guy. He's coached in the NFL, coached all the tons of first round picks at linebacker and defensive end, and a lot of knowledge. He and I have been together for a long time. He and I have known each other for a long time. He sent his son to my camp. I used to coach his son in camp for many years when he was quarterback. When I got to develop him early, Tino, and we coached together at LSU during those times. So we've been friends for a long time. He brings a lot to the table too, and that's another guy also in the system who also knows that system too. So you got a front end that guy to help bridge that gap.
Will you coach in the bowl game?
Yes.
So you feel not only are you not dropping off, but you might be growing as a staff?
Well, I hope so. I mean, I hope you always want to do that. But we had Mark Stoops was a heck of a football coach, did a tremendous job. DJ Ellett did a tremendous job. Eddie Grant's did a tremendous job here. Hopefully you can, you don't ever know till you get the chemistry in the mix, but we feel very comfortable with the guys. But that is in no way taking away from the job that those guys did. They did a tremendous job too and had a lot of success. I mean, and like I say, success is going to be in how our program grows.
You like that balance? You got one guy that's got a ton of college experience. The other guy is a little bit fresher in terms of college experience.
Yeah, but sometimes that can be like how much pro experience did Jim Harbaugh have? Yeah. You can coach. Yeah. And then you'd be surprised. When you sit down with some of these high school coaches, these big programs, where they get the kids year round, what they do in their programs, sometimes they make the college coaches' heads swim. The ability for some of those guys in those big time programs can coach, and they've done that. And then to have the pedigree and the people they've been behind. So I mean, I feel very comfortable where we're at. And we'll see. Just got to go play in the future.
You talk a lot about relationships, obviously, knowing those guys. How much?
And off the same tree of how we coach, how hard we coach, the intensity we put into the game, how guys are done, and those guys we've all had success doing it our way and winning championships. And obviously we're being very successful here as we're growing this program. It's growing like crazy. They've grown the programs they've been in and been successful. And it's also when you believe the same things, then you don't have those controversies. Staffs, you talk about chemistry of staffs, it goes back to your beliefs. But when you come off the same tree, you think and look alike, and it makes those transitions a heck of a lot easier.
Sounds like Coach Pruitt's reached out to some of the current players. Can he get involved at all in the recruiting stuff?
Yeah, he can. Mm-hmm. Once he does that, because he's not involved in coaching, so he can still get involved in recruiting. Yes, he'll touch base with our recruits.
As far as the running backs coach position,
we're going to wait and be patient with that and how we do things.
Did Sal have some special teams?
Oh yes, Sal's been a total special. Yeah. He was our special teams guy at LSU.
Yeah.
He was our special teams coach. He's a special teams guy, guru on all that stuff. So I mean, he knows all.
Would he likely?
We'll wait and see how the next hire goes and where we go. But he'll be involved with it significantly. Great knowledge in what he does there.
Has anybody really stepped up this week that really impressed you? You expect a huge game in the bowl game?
No, I don't know. I hope all of them. I just hope we play well. But we've had some good practice. I've been pleased with the way we practice. I mean, our whole team's had great spirit and great enthusiasm.
I saw Amp was on crutches. Is he?
I don't know. He tweaked an ankle there today. I don't know what happened. I guess got tweaked. We'll have to get the extensity of it. We'll go back in.
What about Scooter?
I got banged in the head yesterday. Got banged in the head. yesterday.
Questionable for the bowl game?
No, I don't know. I mean, that's a long time off. I mean, he was back for a day or two. I expected, I would assume he'd be back, but I have to wait and see.
Did you make it out all right grade-wise?
Yes, everything I've gotten so far, we're good. They haven't tapped on my shoulder, said nobody can go. So we're good.
I know you talked about it earlier, but just the Orange Bowl and winning an Orange Bowl.
Just playing in an Orange Bowl and being down there and then having a chance to win one of those, and we need to go play well. We haven't won a BCS bowl game here in 12 years. I mean, you haven't won one since the national championship game. I mean, we act like, I mean, we go these things all the time. I mean, we haven't went in 7 and haven't won one in 12. So we're very excited about that, and I think it's another chance for our program to grow and put it on the national stage and catapult us into next year with a very experienced team coming back and a very good group of guys that hopefully we can continue to learn and grow our program.